Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Today, we're joined by Andrea Williams of United Way of Ross County. This is Andrea's second visit with us. We'll get updated on the campaign, the new goal, and all the good stuff that United Way of Ross County is doing for our community. Today's interview is brought to you by Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for more than 4 decades, not only just in the Scioto Valley anymore. They're covering all over the state of Ohio. Whether it's residential, commercial contract work, they can do it for you. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Andrea Williams with United Way of Ross County. I think the last time we talked to you, you were literally 24 hours into the new job.
24 hours in, that's true.
Yeah, so you were just kind of a blank slate about some things, but now you've got some time under your belt and we're ready to roll.
Yes.
What's the campaign goal for this year?
Well, this year our campaign goal is $725,000.
That's ambitious.
It is ambitious, but since I've been there and seen the programs that we not only operate, but the programs that we support in the community, I definitely think that we should be ambitious and try to grow.
Yeah. How many local agencies benefit from funds raised by United Way of Ross County?
We have 12 agencies, but amongst those 12 agencies, some agencies have various programs that we fund. Mm-hmm. So, for example, there may be an agency that is receiving funds for health, education, or financial stability. So some agencies are receiving 2 streams of funding, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I know a lot of things have changed over, the last 30 or 40 years with United Way, and as far as it seems like a lot more hands-on with education that I've noticed in the last decade with new things that you're doing with a lot of the programs here in our community.
United Way Ross County is very involved in the school systems, not necessarily educating, but assuring that kids have food, that there's food stability. There's our Mighty Active Pack Club. There's about 200 kids each weekend that we're providing food for them and their families through this Mighty Active Pack Club. So, the educators share with us that, food insecurity impacts education negatively.
Absolutely.
So we're involved.
And again, that's something that for people listening in who are familiar with our community for over decades, that was something that maybe we didn't, if it was happening, we didn't always hear about it as much as we do now, that need. That a lot of kids are coming to school and, they're kind of having to fend for themselves in some ways.
I feel very lucky because there are many teachers in my life. Mm-hmm. And something I've learned over the years that some of those teachers hate to see the kids get on the bus on Fridays because they know that lunch at school might have been the last meal that they would have received until coming back to school on Monday. And so outside of the work here with United Way, I've just learned that educators struggle with that and have a lot of concerns about what's going on with those kids over the weekend.
Now, the campaign is off and running, correct?
The campaign's off and running. We're very fortunate. We have Jack Schmidt and Lori Graves as our co-chairs for the campaign this year, both so interested in successful community, successful programs. And so I'm lucky to have them working with me and showing me the way because this is my first campaign.
Of course, Jack with Kenworth, I knew Jack when he was a little boy.
Okay.
Just right across the road from my house. But Lori Graves, a lot of folks know her through her work at Pioneer Center, also a comedian and now a radio personality in the community. Yeah. Volunteers. Everybody always needs volunteers. How about the United Way?
Oh, of course we do. We've been trying to share some volunteer opportunities through our social media channels. And, for example, tomorrow we have a produce market at the library here in Chillicothe. And what that means is a truck will show up at the library and unload a huge amount of produce. And so our volunteers separate, sort out, and then we start loading cars that are in line for that produce. And that all happens through volunteers. the Mighty Active packs that are packed every Thursday. Those 200 bags that go out each week, they're all packed through volunteers. There's a wealth of ways volunteers can get involved with United Way, and we're trying to show that. Our VITA tax program, which is volunteer income tax assistance.
We were just promoting that on the show last week. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We definitely could use volunteers for that. We want to make sure that program's accessible to people. So we want to take a look at the way we're administering that program and how we can best support those that need that service. But it, of course, requires volunteers.
Sure. And for those who might not be familiar, that's not a new program, by the way. That's been around for a number of years. That is helping people with their income filing their income tax returns. And it's been my understanding for years that has brought a lot of money back on, the government. Sometimes we overpay our taxes,
right.
And a lot of people have benefited greatly from that.
Last year, my understanding is that we brought back $1.8 million to Ross County through, helping people properly have their taxes completed and filed. And sometimes, I know myself, I think, oh my goodness, I don't want to do people's taxes. That's a scary project. But I'm reassured that we go through some trainings, and of course there are folks that have been involved in the program for years that are engaged and kind of serve as a team lead. And there's always a second set of eyes to look before they're filed. But I think that's an intimidating program to get involved in, but we don't want people to be intimidated. We definitely want people, because not only is a person coming in to get their taxes done, but it's also socialization, talking about different things going on in a person's life. Sometimes we connect people to 211 through that, share with people about the produce markets, and, it's a way to link people to services because they're in our space.
Sure. 211. Any chance I get to talk about that in the community, I do. As long as that has been around, I am flabbergasted at how many people still don't know it exists. And it's like, 211, what's that?
I was that person on April 23rd. Yes, I did not. I had never experienced 211. I didn't live in a community that supported or had 211 as an option. And it's amazing how many people need that service, benefit from that service. I just had a meeting yesterday with the folks that help operate Ross County's 211, and I learned of a new feature, and it's a chat option. So if you would go to the 211 website, there is literally a chat button. So if someone doesn't feel comfortable having a verbal conversation, they can go that route.
Oh, fantastic.
And still learn about what resources are available in the area, which is nice. But I also learned that after a verbal conversation, they will send you a text message or an email refreshing you on, this is what we talked about, these are the services that are available, this is what you may want to connect to.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I was gathering each week with a group of citizens, clergy in the community, and one of them said, it would be so great if there was just a central location where you could get information about resources in the community. And I said, have you ever heard of 211? And it was like blank. And I explained it to them, and they said, and some of these people had lived here all their lives and said, I didn't. So it's not for lack of promotion, because I know we promoted on this program. We used to promote it when we were on the radio station years ago. It's just, maybe it's just not locking into people's minds as to what it is. But as Andrea said, any of the resources that are available for anyone in the community, even for people who are homeless or looking for a way to get a meal in the community, I have noticed people that, even people that are unfortunately living on the streets, many of them have cell phones.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Well, when you connect with them, that there is this service, 211, it's someone, a way that they can reach out to say, is there something that can help me to get back on my feet?
Right. A lot of times it's people who, and I've seen this since I've been in the office. We have a lot of people that walk into the office and say, how do I find food? Yeah. I need rent support. My utilities are about to be shut off. So obviously we have those conversations with them while they're in the office, but we also want to make sure they understand what 211 is. So there's many times we just set someone up at a table, give them a phone, give them a notepad, and now I know they don't need this notepad because they're going to get a text message back that says, this is what we talked about. But there's a lot of people unfamiliar with 211, and what I think happens is it's typically an urgent or an emergent situation, and we don't always plan for those.
Sure.
So until something happens, unforeseen happens, maybe we don't know what's available to us. And so it's very challenging to put all that in our minds and say, oh, shoot, I've run into this issue. I'm going to check with 211. So.
We mentioned earlier the campaign of $725,000 is the goal. It's up and running now. How long is the campaign going this year?
The campaign goes through the end of April. And I think that it's very important to mention right now that we have opened our community impact funding cycle. So that means the grants that United Way puts out into the community, now's the time to apply for those. And obviously the campaign funds support those grants. And that's open through October 4th. So the application deadline is midnight on October 4th. And you can access that through our website.
How are the different ways that people can donate money to United Way, Ross County?
So I also want to share, because I have encountered this, there are people in the community that are donating to United Way worldwide. Well, if you want the money that you're donating to stay in your community, you definitely need to connect yourself to United Way Ross County, and people can stop by and drop off a check. You can go through our website. Right now, we have the PayPal option, but we're also trying to get out to our employers and some of our local operations to see if people want to get involved in the employee giving campaigns.
Right. On your payroll,
where people can say, hey, I'm going to do $10 a week, and so then that is deducted, and the money then is sent from the employer to United Way.
Yeah. And if you aren't sure whether your employer offers that, ask them, and if not, then call United Way, and you can make a connection there.
Absolutely. We'd be happy to do that. There's a lot of opportunities for people to engage. Sometimes one of our produce market map bag folks in the office has also shared things like, maybe we just need people to get involved with a canned meat drive, because for us to purchase protein is insanely expensive, as we all know. And so those are things we will find a way for someone to engage with us, whether that be through donating time, donating money, or just donating food supplies. We'll definitely connect someone. And so many great projects. I had no idea what I was getting into.
You've learned as much as the community's learning. Again, you're located where? Your phone number, office number, and website.
Okay. So we're located at 69 East Water Street, and we're there 9 to 5 every day, and we'd happily make arrangements to be there outside of those hours. And our website is www.unitedwayross.org. And the phone number is 740-773-3280. Hopefully I got all those things right, but we're going to hope for it.
You hit it out of the park. See, anything that, like, again, the last time, Andrea, she was literally on the job only 24 hours. So now she's got all this information in her mind, and you probably go to sleep, just rolling this stuff around your head.
But it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting, and I'm super happy to be here, and we're just, it's great work. Yeah. It is great work.
Again, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to share, I looked at these numbers yesterday before I came today, and in 2023, through our produce markets and the map bags, We provided 63,000 meals, which equated to 32.5 tons of food.
Wow.
The partner that we work with provides us this information in tonnage and in pounds. So that's kind of interesting to think about. And then as of June 1st of this year, we've provided 30,000 meals, which has been 15 tons of food.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. A lot of need out there in United Way of Ross County. Because they're right here at home, they know the best way to get it to those organizations, agencies that have the greatest need. Help them out if you can. United Way of Ross County. Our guest today, Andrea Williams of United Way of Ross County. Our interview brought to you by Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. I'm Mike Smith.